What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Yeah.
Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Hey guys, not too much news yesterday. Things we knew, interviews we knew. Today, a lot more to discuss. So, hey, we're going to combine a 2-day show into one on a Cowboys chat here. A little later than usual. Nonetheless, thank you guys for stopping in here and discussing our Dallas Cowboys and the future we have here. Can we trust Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, the clown show there? Can we trust, again, you can even put McCarthy in there if you want. If you think that looks more like McCarthy. Either way, we got Micah, NBA stuff. We got some coaches here that were on the horizon, possibly one of them. The other one is kind of a surprise. And more coaches. So we're going to discuss our defensive coordinator situation on our Cowboys here in a moment. But, baby, before we get into all that, let's remind everybody who's repping the boards this week.
Thank you so much to the sponsor of the week and your Cash App King, Stanley Smith.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, of course, as always. Thank you so much.
First time for him as our overall sponsor of the week.
Yeah, that's right. So, and if you look up above, though, Marco Seppien's still rocking it as a stream boss with 37 points. Ticking his way down there. And thank you so much once again, Jason Renfro, representing with that membership gifting King Crown.
That's right.
Always appreciated showing the love and sharing the love here on the MCF side of things. But,
yeah.
There's some people trying to take over that lead.
Yeah, when it comes
if
to
I'm not mistaken, I actually don't remember who it is.
Well, the gifting side of things, there is nobody in there currently right now. So keep that in mind. Right now, that's wide open. Jason Renfro got a new streak, but nobody's on that side of the board right now. But you do see that Mark's numbers went from where it was before. Now he's all the way down to 37 because a pre-stream drop from Dwayne Broussard. Go Cowboys, top dog.
Yes, it is a classic.
Yes.
$4 holler and a Go Cowboys.
From the top dog there, star level member. Appreciate you. And he's on the board with a lot of other people to drop the love. And that's why I'm building up this, because the sponsor of the guy who's challenging the sponsor of the week and the Cash App spot, you guys might not know who he is, but he's McLovin it here, guys. McLovin in the house in the After Dark session, giving some love.
Ooh.
He put in a bunch through PayPal. He is in first place on the overall board. Also shouting out people that jumped into membership, like Lincoln Kane.
That's right.
Back in the membership. Another month of a star-level member. Much love to him representing it there. Bootzilla in the house with the Navy Blue crew. Don't forget Snug X.
Woo.
Dropping it in the Cash App side. You see him, he's second on the overall board and second behind McLovin on the overall board. Then you had amazing gains back in the membership. Navy Blue crews. Traveling Fools as well in the Navy Blue. Smokey with some PayPal love. Kirk Burning in the Cash App. Miko in the Cash App. Much love to Gloria, who was in first place last night after our After Dark fun. But she PayPal in it, guys. And also there with Snug X in second place. Mary Alvarez in the membership is a star level. Back in the house. Appreciate every single one of you guys and cannot do this without your love and support. That's just over the last 2 days, so we just wanted to catch up all the shout-outs there. McLovin in the overall lead and the Cash App leader at this moment. He's loving it. He's coming for that crown. And I don't think he's a Cowboy fan. So somebody might have to jump in front of him. McLovin, much love to him, right? So, but go Cowboys, always.
Much love, too much.
Now, there's ways of dropping love. You saw Super Chat. When it came to Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, you have the membership you can jump into, like we just shouted out people. You can gift memberships, like we said, Jason Renfro, the king there. And, of course, there's the thanks button as well. Speaking of Super Chat, yeah, Super Chat drop right here by Mark Hovsepian, dropping that J-Lou $2 holler right there.
Holler to Mark. You know what he said?
Hit me with it.
Rex Ryan? I guess Jerry Jones wants two-meet competition with McCarthy.
Clown show. We'll talk about it. Trust me. I cannot jump the gun, but definitely stick around for what we got to say about our...
I hope the clown music isn't copyrighted, right?
Right now, everything feels copyrighted.
By the way, also said, hold up, wait a minute. I got to drop a $3.34 holler.
Because Mark dropped 2 on put 39. So when Jason's comes through, it's going to drop there to like 36 or so.
Yeah.
So much love to Jason when that comes through. What did the man say?
Go Cowboys.
Hell to the yes.
Always
much
go
love
Cowboys.
to Jason Renfro.
And there it is.
Yes, the 3-3-4 Appreciate you. You know, Jason Renfro, the champion of the gifting membership side.
Yes. Now, I know you were just mentioning
Yeah,
now.
there's
Lots
ways
of
to
ways
drop
to
the
show
love,
the
right?
love. But as far as the Cash App side of things, you have, of course, the Cash App, the money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, that Streamlabs link, which does let your comment show up on screen, just like a super chat.
Yeah, you know, on our After Dark show, we do have a lot of the Cash App and PayPal that does function into this, and we put them on the board. So, again, you know, that's a way to break ties and take leads, and if you are down to challenge the top spots here, the crown, so to speak. So, and by the way, also speaking of the crown, the top spots, you got the navy blue on the membership side, the silver too, but then you got the top shelf membership levels, the star level, and the over everything level. Let's shout them out because they get the nightly shout outs here at MCF.
Well, thank you very much to Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Andy Potched, Mary Alvarez, Marissa Sparkle, Dwayne Broussard, and The Lunatic.
Ooh, man, that's some fire membership right there. Appreciate you guys, and as always, repping that star over everything. Go Cowboys!
You know it.
You know it. Who's in the house tonight, baby? And that's the last part
Yes.
of our intro.
Let me give the shout outs, the appreciation, the love.
Let's give them shout outs to the family that's ready to discuss our Cowboy news, info, and updates tonight.
Thank you to Asmodeus representing.
Yeah.
Jay Duncan, what's up? Absolutely. Total Clown Show. Rolando Rodriguez all the way from South Texas. Jason Renfro in the house as well. What's up? Pioneer representing. Much love. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself. Chris Davis, hello and hi. Xavier Hidalgo, thanks for joining us here. Skeptical Fan always staying skeptical.
He is always staying skeptical with good reason.
He said, I don't want to hear another stupid mantra or motto for the Cowboys to use to try and inspire us and the Cowboys because I'm not buying it.
Just win. I don't want to say
Carpe
the
Omnia
Raiders thing.
Sees everything. What is
dumb.
Seize your balls? Like what? Someone let me know what
someone
that means.
seized McCarthy's balls. That's what it felt like this year, the way he coached that last
of course,
Green Bay
a
game.
big mahalo to Marco Seppian as always.
Yes, you know it.
Aloha, I should say. Let me see. We have Antoine Scott in the house. What's up? BCG. Rolling on through. Stephen White, thanks for being here. I know you're one of the early risers, so. JD from DC.
Hell yeah.
Said Jerry looks menacing.
He's always scary. You never know what Jerry's going to do. Much love, Mr. JD from DC, repping in enemy territory. And by the way, back-to-back gifting champion the last 2 weeks. Jason Renfro took it down this past week. But much love to JD from DC as well.
Now, Bruce got the toxic juice. Said Jerry's got that dog in him. Unfortunately, that dog is Cerberus. Just slightly. So, Seabass in the house, said, that going all in for him is Vrabel or Belichick. Like, that's what that means for him personally.
All right, we'll discuss it. Belichick's out the question. Vrabel's out the question.
Like we said, when Jerry says all in, what exactly does that mean to you, Jerry, right? We're all sitting here wondering the same thing, including Jason Renfro, who dropped another dollar holler and a go Cowboys, officially bringing Mark down to that 35 points on the Street Boss.
Much love to Jason Renfro repping that navy blue, silver, and star over everything for that 6 and beyond.
So coming back down, we have Brandon J. What's up? Philly is trying to just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks at this point. Daniel Barry, what's up? Kevin Bilbo in the house. So with that said, baby, I think that's almost everybody here. As people come trickling in, I'll make sure to keep shouting them out.
Let's keep it going.
Let me hand things off to you.
Already a later night for everybody, but hey, let's get this news going here. So today, guys, Cowboys also put their appreciation out through their official sites and social media. They said, quote, game day or any day, women in sports are unstoppable. Happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day. End quote. Baby, thank you. You are officially a woman in sports. So, you're not playing it, but you are participating in the sporting world. So, so congrats and happy National Girls and Women. I'm going to scratch up the girls. I'm going to say happy National Women in Sports Day for you. Girl. That's from my daughter who played whose football skills actually, when she was doing flag football. Today I had like a 30-minute discussion with her how it's actually being so useful right now in her college-like class. And it's going to be very useful as a leader in the real world. So football was a major part of things. Football
does have actual skills that translate to in real life, the things that you can learn in the game, even if you don't take it all the way to a professional level. You do carry those things with you. And
with her being the quarterback, even though she didn't throw too much, she knew everybody's playbook. She knew what everybody had to do. It's similar to what we've been missing on defense, right? With Dan Quinn, people were saying...
Might have been a game manager, but we won the championship.
Exactly. Hey, guys, that along with... you want to hear some coaching stuff, I'm going to get to in a minute, but when it comes to the Super Bowl, yes, there's a Super Bowl being played, and F the Niners. We want
there
that.
really? I didn't know.
We want, of course, the Chiefs to win. I know I do, even though I'm not happy about it. I'm much happier than the Chiefs winning, getting their 4th. The Niners getting their 6th. That would be disgusting. So the Niner fans, though, they cannot stop thinking about the star over everything. The Niner fans, you look at one of our shorts. Check it out. The 49er fans are breaking out with a, quote, Cowboys suck chant at Super Bowl opening night in their festivities. Cowboys suck. They're still thinking about the Cowboys. There was a media guy with a star on his shirt, repping that star, but he was part of the Cowboys media. And they were chanting, the whole Niners fan base was chanting Cowboys suck, which is great and all, but that's we're their Super Bowl, it feels like. They're going to end up blowing this game, and they're going to be like, well, at least beat the Cowboys. Well, you still didn't. You didn't get that 6. 5 equal to 5. That's what I'm hoping for. Ooh, and JD from D.C. with that $20 Tony Pollard holler, which we actually have a little bit of Tony Pollard discussion tonight. Much love to him, repping in enemy territory. What did he say, baby, with that 2-0?
Ooh, thank you so much. He said, our motto for this year should be, shut up and play.
Win the Super Bowl. That should be the motto.
Oh,
how about all in,
I mean, I was just going to add a few things to that. I was going to say, shut the fuck up, Jerry. And go play.
That would be
great. Just kidding. But no, even with the Jerry stuff aside, I would actually appreciate it if the Cowboys moved away from, like, if they have a motto, keep that shit to yourselves. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, I think that at this point, some of this stuff is turning into, like, a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's kind of like that thing they say about, like, dieting or working out or whatever. Like, if you tell people before you start doing it, you won't actually do it. But if you start doing it and then, like, a month or two into it, you're like, oh, hey, by the way, the reason I lost 5 pounds, 10 pounds or whatever, I started eating right and working out. Like, the chances of you actually maybe sticking with it or finding some consistency with it go up so much more than before you say it. So for these guys to go in there and say, seize everything, yeah, they seized absolutely
it's
nothing.
Hollow. It's hollow. It's bullshit.
Oh, grasping at straws, guys.
Yep. I'm telling you. So,
and trust me, all of us hate the Niners. We definitely do not want to see them win the Super Bowl. And this Modius, all women in media.
Exactly.
All women in sports, I should
even
say.
Even content creators in YouTube, like yourself.
Not quite what he meant, but I'm saying I believe all women should get those sporty shout-outs. Back to you.
I agree.
We're here to talk football.
No, I fully agree, and I also say I'm all in on that. Anyways.
This Chip has no idea what he's agreeing with me, and I can tell you right now, I don't think he agrees with me on this point. Back to you.
All in. Anyways, 49. So anyways, that was just the Niners chant. That fucking Niner fans can't get our freaking names out of their brains. But Andy Reid, this is what's kind of good about coaching. Like, actually coaches that win Super Bowls, with quarterbacks that win Super Bowls, and with offensive coordinators that helped win Super Bowls, like Eric Bieniemy, who I've been saying for a while is a good choice. Maybe next year, I don't know, maybe this year, right? But I don't think the Cowboys going that way. Eric Bieniemy, guys, according to Andy Reid said Eric Bieniemy came in and talked to the offensive players ahead of this AFC Championship game. Eric Bieniemy. Mahomes said at the press conference he was out there that the players had goosebumps listening to Eric Bieniemy as he spoke to the team prior to the game. So it was a heartfelt speech, got him riled up and focused. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if people like him or don't like him, but he seems to be a goddamn good coach. I'm going to leave it at that, because he might be the answer, the reason why they're the Super Bowl winners without him or in the Super. But he's part of. It
feels like some of the narrative around Bieniemy is just like really bizarre and strange, because he clearly has done some really good things, even if he did it with some solid talent. But guess what? Like, you still need talented guys to win. Just throwing that out there. Of
course.
But it seems like pretty much since he's moved on from Kansas City, just feels like everybody's just been hating on him. And as much as I'm not necessarily like the world's biggest fan of him in the sense of like,
he's a Washington Commander last year.
I also don't understand why he gets as much hate as he does. I don't think he's done anything to justify it or shown any offensive stuff that's like that horrible. If anything, he kind of did, like I said, he did okay with the little bit of scraps that Washington had.
Yeah. Well, look, Bieniemy, maybe next year. He just hyped up the Chiefs and got them focused for this game. Now, away from the Super Bowl, because, we ain't in it. But Fox, ESPN, and Warner Brothers, along Warner Brothers Discovery, but these three networks teamed up to create a joint streaming platform to share sports assets. There's multiple reports have confirmed this. So this service will be available to the ESPN Plus, edition there. You can also add it on. If you have Hulu, you'll get it. And Max subscribers. Hey, you got 2 out of 3, maybe. And it's expected that it's going to launch later this year. So keep an eye on that. Interesting little change there.
At least that'll make it a little more straightforward.
Mm-hmm. A little streamlined.
But
for
still.
Sure. Now, we'll see how it works. It's going to be interesting. Now, flag football is a global sport. Remember, it's going to be put into the Olympics in 2028, I'm pretty sure. So, right now, NFL put out numbers on this. 2.3 million participants worldwide in flag football. 13 international markets with NFL flag football programs. Australia, Bahamas, Brazil. We're going to be that first game there, right? With the Eagles. Maybe it'll be us.
Mexico, Canada, UK,
China,
France,
Canada,
Germany.
China, France, Germany, Ghana, Kenya, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand, and the UK. So, again, nearly 2,000 local coaches trained as part of the NFL flag football program. And 12 countries are going to help basically bring this flag football championship. They're going to actually, these 12 teams are going to be played in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be coming every year now to play the championship game at the Pro Bowl. So, anyway, it's the International Flag Football Championship, I guess you can say. So, just getting some of the fluff out of there, just some basic stuff that's going on. Let's talk about our Cowboys and how we're going to look towards 2024. We're going to talk about the defensive coaches here in a minute. But first, former NFL head coach and Super Bowl winner of the Baltimore Ravens back in 2000, Brian Billick, he said this at San Antonio Sports Star Radio at the end of the Cowboys season. He spoke about the end of the Cowboys season, how it ended, and, the point we're at now as we head into 2024. He's had long quotes here. What did he say, baby? Brian Billick about our Cowboys entering 2024.
The knee-jerk reaction is you throw the baby out with the bathwater and we've got to do everything. Well, no. Sometimes it's very subtle. And you have to begin with the idea that, and we're talking about it right now with Kansas City, how hard is it to go back to repeat? It's hard to just win one. The things that have to align for you to go and win a Super Bowl, a lot of it is fate. Obviously, you don't just dismiss it to that because there's a lot of things that you've got to do to set yourself up, and you create your own luck, so to speak. It's a hard process. Dallas has to look at that. They were a good team. They did a lot of good things. But you've got to go back and be very critical and analyze. Okay, is there a little something we need to do? If we've got to do a lot of things, then you're talking about a total rebuild, and that's a totally different project. But what kept us? What were those strategic things that kind of kept us getting to the next game? Sometimes it's just they were a better team, or they were a better team that day. Kansas City and Baltimore, I think Baltimore is a better team. If you want to try to quantify it, but not on that day. And that's the great thing about this game. That 60 minutes is just long enough, not for the best team to win, but for the team that played the best. For the Cowboys, and Jerry's one too, he's going to do it all. I applaud that he kept Mike McCarthy. They'll make some subtle changes along the way because they were close and see if, okay, we've got the elements, we've got to add a few things here and there that happened, but they're not that far off compared to a lot of other teams. That, boy, there's a lot more to do.
Well, again,
I think that's a very fair and balanced perspective.
I understand what you're saying.
But a lot of that comes down to, again, when you're talking about those subtle moves, those subtle things, like we can think of two, like if you make, just throw this out there. We've had this discussion before. You can have a solid average draft, but if you bring in two impactful, heck, even one impactful free agent that can be the difference maker. You want to talk about subtle? This to me is beyond subtlety, right? Because this is obvious. This is flagrant. I'm just saying. So I do get what he is trying to say, and I mean we've said it. It's one of the reasons why we're so freaking baffled still by the way that we lost in the playoffs. This team, by every measure, was the better team. But similar to that KC Baltimore game, the team that was better was not the team that played better on that day. Yeah.
And listen, I'm going to be real.
And obviously we know, for a lot of variety of reasons, why that was the case. You
can say the same thing, though, about the Packers and the Cowboys. I mean, we were obviously the better talented team. We just didn't. We're not better.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like in the comparison to what Billick said.
But that's what I literally just said. I'm saying that, like, similar to his comparison to Kansas City and Baltimore, the better team that went out there on the field was not the team that won or played the best that day. We were the Baltimore in this scenario.
Right, exactly.
You know?
And they were the Chiefs that advanced. Yeah, I got you.
And I remember, this is just a super quick personal side note. I remember seeing a discussion as well. I can't remember where it was. Basically, people asking, why doesn't Harbaugh get the kind of heat that McCarthy gets? Because they have similar Super Bowl records, right? They each only have the one ring. Mm-hmm. They both continuously bring their teams to, like, playoffs and championships, but never seem to be able to close the deal. Like, what's up with that? And why do people seem to think of Harbaugh so much more favorably? So, I don't want to get into that discussion in particular. I just thought that comparison was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And these comparisons will continue to be made throughout the season. Just throughout the season for McCarthy and for probably Harbaugh. Although, like, he's done it with the same team. I think that's the bigger difference there. And his kind of been guiding the way they go.
Xavier, usually the schedule officially doesn't get released until after the draft. So expect sometime in April for us to be able to tell you officially who is playing what, when, where.
After the draft is like the end of April. So
that's what I just said.
You said that after the draft. It's before the draft then, right? Because the draft is in the end of April to the beginning of May. So if it's going to be mid-April, then it's a little before. Is it
announced after the draft or is it before?
No, it's before. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's middle of April when it comes out, and then we have the draft right after that, and then we have the camps open up and stuff like that, the OTAs and all that. So
there you go. Anyway, back to you, baby.
So actually, it's going to be back to you because Brian Billick wasn't the only guy speaking about the Cowboys' future or what's the next step for the Cowboys in 2024. Tony Romo, yes, and I'll throw up here the guy who took his job, Dak Prescott. Tony Romo said Cowboys need to have a narrow focus and can have a Super Bowl breakthrough very soon. Very similar, you can say, like, we're close. You just need to do a couple of tweaks here, and we have to do some tweaks.
And he is kind of echoing Billick's thoughts here by saying, again, quote, the Cowboys are so close. There is a mental side that goes into this. A moment ago, I just got done talking about Brock Purdy. Two of his biggest challenges for this game will be the nerves of the Super Bowl, and the second will be the aura and mystique of Patrick Mahomes. It's real. You expect him to be great, and you've got to overcome that. I think the Cowboys, in some ways, they just need to go out and do their job. Shit, that sounds like what JD from DC said, right?
Exactly.
Shut up and work.
That should be our mantra.
Anyway, but back to what Romo said, quote, they're knocking on the door. You can't be this good this year in and year out without breaking through at some point. I think they will very soon. Any playoff loss is devastating for any fan base and for any quarterback, any coach or player, or anyone in the organization. There is never an easy one. They all hurt. And like anything, you've got to get back to work. We know that the Cowboys are good. The biggest thing is just the mental approach in games like that. And that's the part where I think sometimes you have to be able to understand. That's the Super Bowl in some ways. Yeah. They get talked about so much. I don't want to say it's nerve-wracking, but it's real. You've just got to narrow your focus. So I'm saying, sometimes when you get behind early in a game, things start to get bigger.
Right? Yeah.
The game is long, not short. You've just got to get right back to where you are. This is probably my favorite time in life right now. By the way, I'm assuming he means as far as like, where he's at personally and professionally.
Right. Well, Romo at the end there, I was going to kind of go in there for that, but that was more just like about his he's talking about his children and the fact that their ages are like 8 through like 12 or something like this, and he's just loving seeing them grow up and how they do at school, and what I'm saying. So he was talking about his life, I think, off away from the field and away from the broadcast booth. It was more about his life with his family. So he just said he's favorite time in his life right now when it comes to that side of things, for sure. Obviously, anyways, he made some similar assessments, I think, as Belichick did, as Belichick did. Yes, earlier, as you heard.
I want to say Belichick every time we're talking about
it.
But
I have to shout out somebody, baby, in a very loving way, because he's currently the king of the Cash App. Stanley Smith, sponsor of the week. Much love to him. He dropped that 5 on it in the Cash App.
Thank you, Stanley.
Yes, much love to Stanley. First drop of the week. He's trying to, maybe a repeat, maybe back to back like our 90s Cowboys. We'll see. But he's starting off right now with the 5 on it. On the board, and he's still chasing McLovin in first place on both boards as of this moment. So much love, Stanley. Appreciate you. He said, "Go Cowboys!"
Always.
You know it. Appreciate it, man. And he's on the board officially now. And by the way, Mark, after that JD from DC drop, Mark's to 15 points right now on the stream, boss. That's definitely danger zone for now. We'll see what happens. Danger zone. A quick couple comments in the chat, maybe, before we get to the coaching. Well, actually, a couple player notes and then coaching situation.
Okay, so first of all, Sick Aguilar 04 said, unfortunately, it doesn't matter. what NFC team is in the Super Bowl this year?
That's right. Yeah.
The NFL will not let their new poster boy, a.k.a. Patrick Mahomes, lose this Sunday. I mean, again...
I hope not.
They can do everything in their power. At the end of the day, KC still has to play. Right?
They're not in the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift. They're not in the Super Bowl. They're in the Super Bowl because of Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and the defense and the coaching.
So, by the way, Fuego said, I don't give a fuck. I believe in Team Rex. Make y'all a believer. Watch.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one, Fuego, because a very lackluster move there.
Oh, we got a gifted membership to the Man, Drums, and Cowboys. Welcome to the Navy Blue crew once again.
And by the way...
That was from Jason Renfro.
Thank you, Jason. Congrats to Drums and Cowboys. It's funny, I was actually just about to read his comment next. So perfect timing there, Jason. Thank you for showing the love and dropping the love there.
And now he's got 2 on it this week. I'm sorry, 2? Yeah, no, 1. I think he's trying to go back-to-back. He dropped 1 on it last week. He's got 1 on it this week. We'll see what happens. Currently leading the whole group, the whole family there, with 1 gifted membership.
Now,
what was the comment from Drums and Cowboys, baby?
He said, even if there are benefits to having continuity in the offense, we're not advancing without a run game and run-stop defense. So that's where, again, if you go back to what Bellick said, like, where are those tweaks that need to be made? And obviously, I do think he meant it in an overall sense, like, right, from a coaching perspective, from an acquisition perspective, player perspective, all of it. Mental perspective, heck. But... since we obviously are talking specifically more about player acquisitions and that type of thing, to me, again, we're talking little moves, little things here. We spent a lot of money on our run game last year and had basically nothing to show for it. The Cowboys say they're going to do something a little bit differently. So, again, that's something where most of us have discussed this. Some kind of cheaper free agent plus a drafted guy can definitely get the job done here. Right? You're talking about the run-stopping defense. Again, that's where I have to go back to my comment before. If the Cowboys don't make at least 1 major move, and I do think defensively would be the more impactful place to do so.
Whichever defensive coordinator we bring in.
And honestly, at this point, pick your fucking position. Because you could go impactful linebacker, impactful corner, impactful D-line. The only one I'm maybe disappointed in is safety, just because we truly won't get as much usage out of that. But other than that, you can't go wrong with
I agree.
Making a move in that direction.
Great comments by everybody.
So, and take it easy, Cassie. No, I totally understand. This is not as exciting of a Super Bowl to watch this year. So,
I agree.
Anyway, back to you.
It's sad that it's a repeat of 4 years ago with San Francisco losing to the Chiefs.
So,
hopefully it happens
and guys,
again.
You said Harold's like a little cowboy mascot at this point. We gotta occasionally allow him to come in the house or whatever, but,
Yeah, that's
just
right.
like any
keep at bay.
Untrained wild dog. Yeah, kick him back out eventually.
Speaking of our lion, Micah Parsons. Before we get again, I have 4 quick notes about our Cowboys players.
I mean, Dustin Roberts said he'd love Rex Ryan, saying, "Imagine what he could do with Micah."
Yeah, I mean, we're good. Well, I look at
his feet.
I look at Zimmer. Yeah, I look at Zimmer as the bigger guy that I talked about this. Zimmer to me. We'll use Micah the best. He'll use him in the A gap and be, sometimes occasionally, looking for stop the run, drop in coverage, or be blitzing him. So I think that's something we got to still discuss here going forward. Again, we'll discuss it tonight here. Trust me, we got you. Now, Micah Parsons, though, on the other side of things, he's going to be we just had the Pro Bowl, but he's going to be in the NBA All-Star festivities. Yeah, NBA. Cowboys linebacker edge. Micah Parsons is going to be playing in this year's NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. Now, I'm going to say this real quick. He played in high school, and he's a good player, of course, basketball. But let me just say this. This is a nightmare for me. I do not want to see him playing, but I know he probably can do it, off to the side in his own time, but I just don't like it because he might try to do something a little more than he should. Anything can happen when you run around and you get hurt. I just, knocking on wood. That's all good. Now, there's basically 2 teams here. There's Team Stephen A. and Team Shannon Sharp. Micah, of course, is on Shannon Sharp's team here. On his team, Micah Parsons, Quincy Isaiah, Connor Daly, Jewel Lloyd, Kai Sanant, Dylan Wang, Lily Singh, Sir, Walker Hayes, and Anul A.A. Do you know these people, baby? I'm just asking. I'm asking. I don't know.
Okay, I heard the name Lily Singh before, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't she start off on YouTube and she's on TV now? I think.
I don't know, But this is what Micah.
That's the only one I knew.
I know
for sure.
Micah Parsons. I don't want him in this game. Shannon Sharp, Peyton Manning, and 50 Cent are the 3 coaches for that side. Team Stephen A's, Jennifer Hudson, Tristan Jazz, Jack Ryan, Meta World Peace, AJ McLean, Kwame Onwachi, Natasha Cloud, Adam Blackstone, CJ Stroud, and Gianmarco Tamberi. Coaches Stephen A. Smith, Ajay Wilson, and Lil Wayne.
I mean, at least I knew who CJ Stroud was.
Yes. I know a couple of these basketball players. I'm just saying, for the most part, I don't know. I guess I'm too old, baby. That's why I was asking you.
It's okay. I guess I'm too old, too, because I don't know most of these people. I mean, Jennifer Hudson, too, I guess.
Of course, yeah. I know a couple of people here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, besides
general,
that, some of these rap names as well. Meta, World Peace.
That's not a rap name.
Oh, is it not?
That's.
I thought that was a rapper. I just assumed.
That's a basketball player.
What the fuck?
Ron Artest, the mayhem and the madness and what was that Detroit? What was that called? There was a big fight between them and Indiana, the Detroit Pistons and the Indiana Pacers, and it was like a riot in the stadium. You seen the video? You seen the
I know.
thing? He was the main guy in the fight. He went in the stands and started punching people. It was crazy. Anyways, I saw that live, by the way.
All right,
on TV.
there you go. Everybody gets to laugh at me now.
It's a little Meta World Peace for you, baby.
Look, I'm a little old for that. I'm a little young for that. So
I'm showing my age here. Anyways, Micah Parsons did post on Twitter something very good. If you're looking towards the season going forward, quote, "Just a reminder, I love y'all, Cowboy Nation. I will be better. Don't give up. #Hungry Lion." So, hey, that's all you can do right now is talk. And he's going to do some talking on his podcast and on his Twitch. But you know what? I think Micah is one of our best players, not the best player in this team. And I am full support of Micah Parsons. Just talk less. Say less, as they say. So, anyways, now when it comes to the offensive side of things.
No, the Malice at the Palace.
Malice at the Palace,
Thank you,
yes.
Pioneer. Thank you, Jones and Cowboys. You guys both.
Malice at the Palace. And that's a classic. I mean, it's horrifying, but it is, I will remember seeing that live.
I saw that game too.
Yep, I was watching. That was on TNT. I saw that live, and it was crazy. It was crazy.
Stewart said, "What does Stephen A. Smith know about anything except running his big mouth against us?"
He did play basketball in college, so he has something to stand on there.
Franco said, "What? Parsons playing NBA now? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Hopefully he isn't catching fouls for tackles."
I'm telling you, I just don't want somebody to I know Shaq, right? They foul him when he's a bigger guy. I mean, Micah's gonna be bigger than most of these guys out there, width-wise. Someone takes a shot at him outside of the basketball players. I just don't want him going doing anything crazy. Micah's competitive, and that's what scares me.
But JD from DC said it here with his soon-to-drop $5 holler. Thank you so much.
Are you saying you put 5 on it?
I am saying he put 5 on it.
And that means Marco Sepian's going to be down to 10 points on that stream boss. A $10 holler. Take it.
We can still call it a Cooper Rush.
Yeah. True. He's technically still on the team. There's the 5 on it. Much love to JD from DC repping that star. In enemy territory, what did the man say?
We do not need a Jason Sehorn injury.
Exactly.
Blessings to the Lion.
Exactly. Thank you.
I mean, on one hand, I agree. On the other hand, we know that we are talking about football players, generally athletes. They tend to be more athletic and pursue more physical things than maybe most of us here sitting on our couch chilling at home, right? So to me, in general,
it's a risk anyway.
I see they naturally live what I would consider higher risk lifestyles. That's why the NFL is so clear about certain activities that do just cross the line.
That's stuff's in your contract.
Don't be a dipshit.
Some of that's in the contract, or
bungee jumping or whatever the fuck.
Motorcycle or motor skiing, water skiing. Yeah. I'm saying those things you get injured, it could void your contract. In fact, that guy got injured from Buffalo, didn't he?
Yeah, true, because he was on a jet ski or something, right?
Yep, and they could void his guarantees. That's going to be a big deal. So you got to be, Micah, you got to be careful because you could be fucking yourself here. That's all. So be healthy.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So much love. By the way, I want to update that.
Blurb.
JD from DC, just a couple drops. He's in 4th place in a tie on our overall board. So, JD's taking some titles here before. Currently moving right up here into 4th place on the overall board. Much love to you, sir. Now, I do want to throw in there, we talked about Micah. Let's go to the offense real quick, baby, just for a quick moment, and talk about 2 guys, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. Why do I say this? CeeDee Lamb has 313 catches for 4,151 yards and scored 29 touchdowns in 49 games. Getting the ball thrown to him by Dak Prescott, all right, in his career with Dak Prescott. Fantastic numbers. And then you look closer. Dak Prescott has a passer rating of 120.2 passer rating when he targets said CeeDee Lamb on the. But it's not just every time. He has this unbelievable rating. This is a 120, guys. This is like excellent. This is like elite rating here. Almost, you're 40 points away from the most you can get. The point is, when targeting CeeDee Lamb specifically on slant routes, corner routes, and crossing routes, back in this past year, 2023. So he also had a 74% completion percentage to CeeDee Lamb on the slant, the corner, or the crossing route. And each of those three different patterns, those routes, also 12.5 yards per attempt from, by CeeDee Lamb, getting the ball thrown to him in the slant, in a corner route, or in a crossing route by Dak Prescott in 2023. I'm just saying. That's a key, don't you think? That's a key. It is a major key.
I mean, it's a key.
It is a major key to keep this thing going, to get winning games and doing good in offense. You got to be able to also find everybody else, and that's up to Dak and Mike McCarthy to get that shit on the same page. Also, using the running game. Now, I don't have our guy here, Tony Pollard. He's probably not going to be a Cowboy this year, but I'm hearing some talk the Cowboys might use a franchise tag on him. That'd be the dumbest thing. I didn't even put it as news because I think that'd be if that Cowboys did that, that's not going all in.
That is the most spectacularly stupid thing I could possibly think of. Why?
I'm not even going to get into it. It's so fucking stupid. I'm not going to get into it, but. I just think it's floating around there, these ideas.
If you would have told me the Cowboys are considering bringing him back for a reasonable deal, I would have said absolutely. I could see that.
Yeah, but not on a tag.
Sense.
You also get, it's going to be like another 30%. So it's going to be like 13 a year, 13 million a year. You got to be fucking.
You can get 5 running backs for 13 a year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that would be the dumbest. That would be a clown show. Fucking, they think they're going all in. That'd be a smack in the face to the fan base if they did that. So Tony Pollard, guys. This is crazy, crazy, crazy shit. It tells me Tony Pollard's kind of moved on from the Cowboys, but he said on Wednesday, which is okay. I understand he's moving on and we're moving on, but Tony Pollard said today that he just found out while on the Pat McAfee show today on ESPN that Dan Quinn left the Cowboys for the Washington Commanders. He had no idea Dan Quinn was gone from the Cowboys. Tony Pollard, taking a question, found out that Dan Quinn went to the Washington Commanders to be the head coach. He was off the grid. Let me put it that way. He said, quote, "I just found out right now that Dan Quinn is the head coach of the Washington Commanders. He does a great job and gets the most out of the guys he coaches." That was a quote from Tony Pollard. And other quotes that were said was like, he goes, "I just went off of social media." He went off of social media, guys, about middle of the season. He took everything. He just said, "Forget it, I'm done with this."
I can respect that.
And he said it was because it's crazy with the Cowboys fan base. It's sometimes you get, it's a lot. You got to get your blinders on. So he felt like, he had to do that, and he never checked it or even looked at things when it came to. He's completely out the loop when it comes to, he's really somebody. If you unplug, my goodness, I mean, he's doing a great job of unplugging. If he did not, he was genuinely surprised to know that Dan Quinn was not on this team anymore. Any thoughts, baby, on that?
I mean,
I know that's kind of interesting.
I think to me the more surprising part is that it sounds like he maybe wasn't in communication with some of his former teammates, which again makes sense, right? Like, it's the off season, you're doing your own thing, spending time with family, as a lot of players are obviously currently doing. Yep. But there's taking a break from social media, and there's basically not talking to anyone within the organization. It's not like this happened within 24 hours. It's been a few days now. We've known this news for a while now. So, I don't know. It's just a little surprising. Yeah, well, that's all.
Let's give me the update. Now, Dan Quinn. Some people, and again, I'm not here to mention names, but some people out there, they are saying out there in the content creating world that, they took a video that the Washington Commanders put out, and, Dan Quinn kind of talking about fan bases, and basically he said something like, quote, for he would love to. I mean, he said he wants to take basically he said this. He said, quote, "For a fan base that doesn't care, no." When he was asked if he's ready to give it all, right? And the reality is he was not talking about the Cowboys or saying that our fans don't care or our fans are assholes or whatever the people are throwing out there spinning shit. What he was saying, guys, he'd rather try to win over a passionate football fan base that doesn't trust him because he coached in Dallas than coach a team that has an apathetic fan base and doesn't really care. That's obviously what it came out to. I don't know why people are making news out of nothing, but hey, it is what it is. it doesn't sound like a shot to me from Dan Quinn to the Cowboy fan base. By the way, Dan Quinn, the effect of Dan Quinn leaving is still happening. What do I mean by that? Defensive line coach Adam Dirty. Today, well, actually, let me skip that. The Commanders put in a request to interview Cowboys tight end coach Lunda Wells. Very good coach for us. Has been helping our tight end position for 4 years. He knows it. He said, let me go get it. But the Cowboys said, not so fast, Dan Quinn. We're blocking the request. So the Cowboys blocked the request. Again, they worked together for years. I'll explain in a minute. But basically, Lunda Wells and Dan Quinn worked together for years. But the Cowboys blocked the request, keeping Lunda Wells as our tight end coach for at least until his contract is up. And sorry, Dan Quinn, you couldn't poach him from us. At least that's solid. I see some guy here dropping a little love from above named JD from DC. Taking it down to 5 points on that stream, boss. What did the man say as he breaks that three-way tie in 4th place?
Thank you, JD. He said, was he on the moon? I'm calling BS.
It does seem very strange,
when
right?
I heard it, it did sound genuine. So at least from my side, and plus, that seems like a really weird thing to kind of pretend or lie about. It seems like the easier thing to say is, love Quinn, appreciate him, wish him the best type of thing. Not like, holy shit, he's gone? Like, yes. So, I don't know. This is what I mean by the disconnect feels a little bit bizarre, a little bit strange. And honestly, when you think back throughout the season, when you think about all the guys who had that quote-unquote brotherhood in Dallas, who were really connected, really in sync, Tony Pollard wasn't necessarily one of those guys. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying that we have, and I genuinely, just stopped to think about it. He wasn't really, doing some of the off-season workouts or doing some of this or that. He was just kind of doing his own thing. And again, making it clear, there's nothing wrong with that. He obviously came ready to play football. And I'm not going to put all of Tony Pollard's failures on our team's mismanagement of the run game as well. Right? We failed Tony Pollard in certain ways.
I echo everything
you're
saying.
It just seems super bizarre to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying it, but I'm going to shut up.
I nothing me to add. 100% right on JD from DC's comment and taking Mark to 5 points. And JD from DC is now 4th place, very close into 3rd place. And actually, he's close in the 3rd. Closing on 3rd and 2nd place right now on the board. JD from DC repping it here. Much love to him. And, Dan Quinn, he must love Dallas because he's trying to poach all our coaches. But speaking of poaching, Jason Renfro coming in, sliding in, and poaching that top spot on as far as our stream boss is concerned. With that 5 on it, he is now the new official stream boss. He's got the gifting championship right now, trying to go back to back. Baby, what did the man say? Jason Renfro now fully loaded at 100 points.
He said, "Go Cowboys!"
Our Cowboys. And he also said,
I'm the stream boss. Yes, Cowboys. I'm adding that in there for you.
I'm taking it from Mark Hovsepian, so I got you.
So now I have to throw this out there super, super quickly. Guys, love and appreciate every single person in the chat. But one, this is not OK Cupid. This isn't Hinge. This isn't the Tinder. This is Bumble, whatever plenty. I don't know what the heck the kids are using nowadays, but please, if you're going to shoot your shot, do it elsewhere.
Are people shooting a shot in the chat?
Side note, keep in mind and be respectful that not everybody wants to be shot at. Third note,
Women's Sports Day. Remember, guys.
Maybe keep orientations in mind. Throwing that out there because, it is absolutely okay to be gay, but it's absolutely not okay to try to put yourself on other people. So, Xavier, I know you're 16. I know you think the coolest thing in the world is to be a little troll. I'm gonna give you one last chance here to just chill the fuck out.
There you go. Hey,
please.
The keys are in the wife's hands. So yes, she controls that. And hey, you got your ass if you're on her list. JD from DC with that 1-0, a $10 holler. Much love to him. By the way, baby, he is, I think now officially, I'm going to double check it, but I think he's in 2nd place all by himself, tracking up for McLovin. He's in 2nd place. Much love to JD from DC, taking Jason Renfro down to 90 points to Marcus Lawrence style. What did JD have to say to us?
Said Tony Pollard should be drug tested immediately.
Something's up.
The problem is that most of the drugs I'd be suspecting probably get out of your system faster than they can drug test him.
Maybe.
But yeah, or maybe one too many hits on the football field.
I don't know, but
so
he has to live somewhere very strange if he is not even in tune with his football life. Like, he has to worry about what's next after Dallas. And he's not even keeping in the loop on things. I mean, that does sound strange.
And yeah, guys, like I said, it's just about respect, right? Like, I'm very, very pro the LGBTQ plus, all that. Ooh. Obviously, you guys know that very well about me. But it's respect, guys. Come on. Like, I don't care. I don't care who, what, or what you identify as. Like, don't hit on people that don't want to be hit on, please. Or in a place where that's not what the fuck it's about.
There you go. Xavier
Can
knows,
Cassie
right?
Stewart just chill in the chat for once? Right?
Come on, guys. It's National Women's and Girls Day in Sports. So, come on. And listen, also, I made a mistake. JD from DC actually, because of the PayPal and Cash App tiebreaker, actually is basically behind by just a drop. Behind Snug X and Gloria. Right. Yeah, so he's still in 4th place. But not, obviously. Very, very close to jumping over them, and then in 2nd place very soon.
Anyway, bringing it back to the ball.
Yes. The other coaches from the Cowboys, like Adam Dirty, defensive line coach, he is also being sought after, but it's not by Dan Quinn. It is Dan Quinn's one of Dan Quinn's guys. Okay. He brought him in here with us when he came in as a defensive line coach, formerly of Atlanta, of course, but Dan Quinn and the Commanders are not trying to get him. It's his other team he coached for as a defensive coordinator for Dan Quinn, the Seattle Seahawks. They want Adam Dirty as their defensive coordinator. At least they're saying that they want to interview him, guys. So they did speak with he did officially speak with the Seattle Seahawks today about the defensive coordinator job in Seattle. Of course, he's also up for the Cowboys defensive coordinator role. You can take this possibly as saying, hey, he's not going to sit around and wait for the Cowboys. He's not going to be, he's going to take his shot out there, so he's going to shoot his shot out there.
Yeah.
And, hey, Seattle's going to talk to him. He's going to talk to him. They can't,
Yeah, like
that's
what
a
exactly
promotion.
are they really going to do, right?
Exactly. So we got the man, JD from DC in the Navy blue.
He said, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the membership.
Is that officially joining it? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, he is. In that Navy blue crew, guys, you know what to do. Drop them if you got them.
Yes, appreciate you, brother. And go Cowboys. Hey, that means that JD's back to... Yeah, you have to be in the membership to be able to gift memberships. And, he's one of our latest membership kings, so much love to him. Now, we got Mr. JD from DC now. He's really jumping up this board, so he may be... Okay, what's going on here? I see my screen and I see my face. A gifted membership for Rolando Rodriguez. Yeah, let me look. 5 gifted memberships from JD from DC. Doing it up here, guys. We know now who's in first place on that gifting board. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do. I also have to follow that up as well. Thank you so much, JD from DC.
Yes.
Let me shout out everybody who got them, right? Kenzie Bands, we got Baby Chaos, Rolando Rodriguez. Somehow you, once again, my Cowboys family. 808 Cowboy, 77 possible? As well. Huge shout out to you. Always appreciate you, JD. Thank you for showing the love and sharing the love, and, of course, hopping into the membership yourself.
Yes.
And right between that, we had Hannibal King 47 drop his own $5
it's about to come up then on our side.
His own commentary. Yep. Yes, it is. He said, I don't care about the defensive coach this year. We still don't have the players to stop the run or start it on the O-line. So, again, run is obviously the problem on both sides of the fence here, so to speak. And like I said, the Cowboys have a variety of ways to bringing in impactful players. If we're talking in a realistic way, my quick summary of it is look at the draft. There's really good running backs there. Look at free agency. There's definitely a running back or two you can pick up. And again, like we said, love Tony Pollard. But he alone cannot get it done. We need a big bruiser, hard-hitting
again, for
type of guy.
$4.5 million, you get around Derrick Henry right now. So why not
get
roll with
Derrick
him?
Henry, draft a guy, and for less than $5 million, guess what? You have an entire run game, and you haven't even broken a sweat. And if you go back to our stream where we talked about the cap and what you can do, we have, in that scenario, around $15 to $20 million still to play with. You're really telling me you can't bring in one big name free agent with that money?
Of course.
Like a singular one.
Of course we can.
10 million. 10 million Cowboys. That's all I'm asking. Can you spend $10 million on one person? Maybe, kind of, sort of? Like, is that still too much? Double digits the limit?
6 million is the limit. Remember that.
Anyway, sorry. I'm going to stop yelling at our front office.
I feel the pain, baby.
But Hannibal, hopefully that goes into our, obviously, still relatively early thoughts. Because as much as we want to say that, and I agree with you in some aspects, that who we get defensively isn't going to impact who we draft necessarily or who we bring in as free agents. Whoever that is, we all kind of said it. One, they're in this weird in-between one-year deal possibly situation. But two, it still took the Cowboys a year to listen to Dan Quinn on his coaching and his drafting opinions when it comes to defense.
Except for Deshaun Wright.
Again, some more wins, some more losses. When you actually think about it, so far, Dan Quinn has not really gotten us any superstars when it comes to the draft side of things, right? Obviously, Mozzie's let us down a bit, right?
I agree.
So, just saying. I mean, you brought up Deshaun Wright. I'm not even going there. But just saying, it is hard to see the exact direction, but there's general paths. And like I said, I don't think it takes a fucking genius to realize the run game is the problem, has been the problem, offense and defense respectively. You can make minor tweaks offensively and make bigger adjustments, but on the defense, the adjustments have to be bigger. Anyway, I talked way too much there. I'm sorry.
So maybe you're breaking it down. I mean, I thought I could answer. I ain't answering anything. I did me here, baby. I can't. You're knocking out the ballpark.
Good.
So.
It's my show. Thank you. It's women in sports. Go.
It's Women in Sports Day. It's all about equality and equity.
MCF is here.
Go football.
Football. Yay.
Oh shit. So yeah, great stuff, guys. Seriously, you guys are bringing the great comments, and baby, you're bringing the great breakdown.
I like that. You know what, Seabass? Shit. Now you said it. Now I'm gonna want it. He said Pollard can only come back if Dallas signs Derrick Henry. Imagine Derrick Henry and Tony Pollard.
I mean, you get $4.5 million each. That's a deal. I'll do it.
That would actually be kind of nice. Woo. Damn it! Don't give me ideas.
JD from DC, baby. He is in second place on this overall board right now. I mean, listen, McLovin's been rocking it. I said it from the beginning. He had a huge night yesterday, but JD from DC is on the verge of taking over. He's right behind him in first place. What did JD from DC say? As he takes Jason Renfrew also. Yeah. Down to 74 points. What did he say, baby?
He said, stop all of the interviews and pick a darn coach. We're losing valuable time and putting too much pressure on Will McClay. That's why to me...
You can't do that if you want to be successful on anybody,
but
even
JD,
the best.
That's why I said it. It is irrelevant who we bring in because the Joneses, Will McClay... And McCarthy, clearly, from what we already know, the draft process and all that, they are going to make the decisions. Like, whoever the defensive coach is going to be, they're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. They don't get input. They don't get a say. They just get to run the defense. But they get to do it with the pieces that we are going to be picking. Like, we're obviously not waiting for their input when it comes to that. Which is a little unfortunate when you kind of think about it. Well, but by the time we get the coach, I'm sure the Cowboys will listen to at least a scheme.
Well, baby, you don't understand. That drop right there, your explanation's great, and that drop right there takes us right into it. Let's finish it up strong. Let's do it. Because we got to dive deep in our defensive coordinator options. And let me explain what I mean by that. Today, or I'd say yesterday, as in, on Monday, we know there was an interview done with Adam Dirty. So was Ron Rivera. Yes, Washington, you see him right there poking up. Washington Commanders, former head coach Ron Rivera, as we knew was coming into town. We thought he was going to be on Tuesday. Officially, he came in on Monday and did his interview. Okay. So that's an early one there with Adam Dirty, not pictured, by the way, who Seattle's looking at right now as their defensive coordinator. So are we. He was interviewed on Monday.
Good for him, though.
On Tuesday, that guy in the upper right, Mike Zimmer, was interviewed. He's my personal pick, and we'll see how we feel after the new names come up. But Mike Zimmer, he had his interview yesterday on Tuesday, which we knew this already, right? So those are the 3 interviews done this week so far by the Cowboys. And technically it was the scheduling group of defensive coordinators that were interviewed ended in the 2 days, like Jerry Jones had said, Monday, Tuesday. There was also, though, a strong indication that the Cowboys are hoping to make a decision before the end of this week, unless something changes that timeline. Of course, what's at the end of this week, baby? Do you remember?
that little game called the Super Bowl.
That little national holiday called the Super Bowl. So, again, guys, they're still, again, the front office yesterday was still working through things. And as I said, my pick before today, Mike Zimmer, without question, handles the Shanahan offensive kind of schemes and the NFL schemes better than any other coach available right now, outside of Belichick, I guess. But the point here is Zimmer interviewed yesterday, and recommendation for the Cowboys from me, do not overthink his potential fit. It's the impressive thing about him, guys, that you have to realize he has a lot of different ways that he can attack you. He's shown this throughout his career. In the same season, he can do this. So he knows how to adapt throughout his career. So I don't fear him adapting. I think he's a guy we can look at. Again, the biggest obstacle I'm hearing, and again, I don't mean to use this in a size way, but Mike McCarthy. And the reason is because they don't seem to gel or fit. For some reason, I'm hearing that even though Zimmer is great with the Joneses, but he may not vibe that great with McCarthy. That's what I'm hearing.
And look,
it could just be bullshit, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Let's be real. When it comes to your coworkers, let's say, you don't have to like each other. You do have to respect each other. But in certain instances in relationships, you do kind of have to like each other a little bit, right? Like, you don't have to be best buddies, but you have to at least kind of like each other. If there's friction, just like now from the initial onset, what's going to happen when they have a disagreement or something's going wrong, and now the team is being torn in maybe multiple directions, just internally based on ideas or mindsets or schemes or whatever, right?
Exactly.
That to me just means you're going to end up with a situation where people aren't going to be happy, and there's going to be finger pointing all the way around with no one actually picking up the buck and taking responsibility. Also shitty performances and losing, and we're back here again, right? Like, let's maybe not have that, right? Pioneer saying it'll likely be Zimmer. It's funny because now that I'm hearing that, it makes me wonder if some of that is why this extended coaching search has continued, because they're trying to find the Cinderella shoe. Or they're trying to find Cinderella, but so far the shoe hasn't fit.
Now here's the thing, though. As I say Zimmer, and as who else said Zimmer?
Pioneer. Said that he
we agree. I agree with you. But here's the thing, baby. Here's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Adam Dirty had a strong interview on Monday. So the Cowboys, whatever he did, was very impressive to the Cowboys.
Like I said, good for him.
No longer considered a dark horse to take over that job right now, according to a lot of sources. A legitimate contender to be the next defensive coordinator. He's only got not pictured here, which is crazy, right? But if it does remain true, Dirty's chances are stronger than most are describing. So just from your guys here at MCF, good sources, I think Patrick Walker, that's where he's higher on the list than we think. Fat and Dirty for the 1 year deal.
That genuinely makes me very happy, because I have to be honest, if none of these other guys seem quite right, and if you'd like to have some kind of stability and continuation while also maybe trying something new, Dirty absolutely fits that, and he obviously gets along with McCarthy.
That's the thing.
As far as vibing, there you go. We vibe.
That's the thing too, though. He knows the defense. So it'd be the next best thing of continuing your defensive strategy you had with Quinn. Yeah. Now, is that good? Can we tweak it a little bit? That's what I'd like to do with Zimmer.
Go back to those Billick comments. It's not, we don't need it. If we're doing an entire overhaul, that's a different story. But keeping McCarthy obviously shows that Jerry agrees that we are close. We just need some tweaks. So, are we tweaking? Chris Davis said, Zimmer used to beat McCarthy when he was in Green Bay.
That's probably because that's probably he doesn't like him. That could be. Who knows? I know it's not that only.
Fuck this guy, right?
But remember, Zimmer did say they should have never fired McCarthy. Like, he did speak up for him. So there's some friendship. At least there's some good stuff as far as Zimmer's side is concerned. I can't speak of McCarthy. But either way.
Still, some people just sometimes don't get along. It happens.
We'll see.
There's nothing wrong with anyone, right?
But here's the thing, baby. There's differing opinions. To me, why this search, you just mentioned it, why is this search still going on? About the Cowboys expanding their defensive coordinator search and taking extra time. End of the week. First, we have these only three. To me, that's very little. 3 coordinators kind of check in here. So, again, I don't know if some people are overweighing this decision-making process, saying it's Adam Dirty no matter what, because of, they're just giving everybody a chance here, and they kind of had a real strong interview with him. And then another name came out today. Actually, 3 names came out, so stay tuned. First guy's not even on this list, guys, but you've seen him on ESPN a lot. Dallas Cowboys today interviewed ESPN analyst, and yes, you see him on the front cover of our thumbnail here. At the bottom left of your screen, you see him there with the Bills. Yes, Rex Ryan.
This is the weirdest one to me. I'm sorry.
ESPN analyst Rex Ryan for our defensive coordinator position. So officially, guys, Jets and the Bills, of course, former head coach for both teams, Rex Ryan, interviewed for the Cowboys' vacant defensive coordinator job. And that, to most people, like myself included, pretty fucking shocking. I'm going to be real. Rex Ryan has been the head coach of both the Jets and Bills throughout his career, built his NFL reputation on the defensive side of the ball. We know this, right? He also has not coached in the NFL, not even a snap, since the 2016 NFL season, since Dak Prescott was birthed into the NFL. Most of this last 10 years, this recent decade, has seen Rex Ryan offering his thoughts, his opinion, some bullshit. Sometimes we talked about some of his bullshit kind of clickbait comments he's made, and his opinions on the Cowboys and the NFL by way of ESPN, as one of their analysts on TV. So he's a loud personality, often makes headlines and controversial comments. There have not been any headlines though on the actual football field for him in a long time, good or bad, right? But the point is, he hasn't coached. His resume speaks for itself, though. Full 10 years since he's coached, though, a top 10 defense. To me, what makes Zimmer a compelling candidate for the Cowboys is his history of producing top-level defenses multiple places, and the fact that he coached as recently as 2021. That's why Zimmer is no question better than a fucking Rex Ryan. Last April, Zimmer even helped out Hugh Jackson with a football clinic at Grambling State. So he's completely involved in football, wants it, loves it, unlike Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan worked as an analyst in ESPN, after he was fired by the Bills in 2016. The best of our knowledge, that's the closest he's been to the game since then. Maybe he's still capable of calling a great defense. Cowboys, of course, we have great personnel, players that you can get something out of this, but given how long he's been out of the NFL, things have changed since he's coached in the NFL. The question isn't whether he's lost his ability. To me, it's more, is he even capable of stacking up against the offensive opponents, the offensive schemes, the offensive coaches and minds?
Yeah, NFL has changed so much.
And these defenses, these offensive schemes have given Dan Quinn, at times, issues in some of the biggest moments. Right? So that's my situation there. Damian Woody from ESPN said, quote, "As far as a defensive mind and fit in Dallas, you wouldn't find any better fit than Rex Ryan." I disagree. I usually agree with him, but I disagree with this comment by him there, by Damian Woody. But listen, the point is, he thinks Rex Ryan is a great fit for the Cowboys as defensive coordinator. Much love to Traveling Fools, given his monthly comment in here in the house. Appreciate you. I shouted you out earlier, brother, for being back in that Navy Blue crew. Appreciate you. We have some great discussions of not just in the past, but on the way, in the horizon.
Woo.
Appreciate you. 4 months in that Navy Blue crew. Go Cowboys. Even though he's a Dolphin fan, go Cowboys.
He said, "Smash that thumbs up, motherfuckers."
Hell yeah. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Traveling Fools.
Yes.
I appreciate that. And by the way, right before that, Calvin Richard.
That's right. Calvin Richard.
$5 holler thoughts to share here.
Taking JC to 68 points. Calvin's on the board. What do you say?
I think the window that the Cowboys had is beginning to close and close fast.
No doubt.
I mean,
no doubt.
Again, I'm going to keep going back to Billick's comments just because we started the stream with them, and I do think they are like the foundation of our stream today in a way, in the sense of like the theme of the stream.
It's a theme of this offseason, every offseason, really, when you look at it from the front office.
We are closer than most teams. As much as this loss, as much as we want to like shit on the bad parts of our team and everything, being objective, we are closer than most teams. We are in the top 10 of you should be getting into the playoff Super Bowl type of thing, however you break it down, you know?
I agree.
You shouldn't necessarily, in an instance like that, go and blow up your entire team, depending on like where they are in the timeline. And let's be real, where we are in our current timeline is not in a let's blow everything up. We're still,
but the window is closing is the point. Yeah,
and we feel it, and that's why this year hit harder than most. Like we finally, we had that window a few years ago, and it shut real fucking fast, and we brought in McCarthy, and it's been creaking open a little more ever since. We threw that window wide open. And literally fell out of it and face planted and like broke our noses. I don't know what to say. So now we're back in the house.
Baby out with the bathwater.
We're back in the house. The window's closed again. Yeah. We're peeking out the window.
Trying to go all in, according to Jerry and Steve in the Clown Show.
Oh,
we'll see if they're real about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, our draft picks last year, unfortunately, because of the way we set up our team, the fact that we missed, or even the fact that we just didn't have any real standouts from the draft, hurt us so much. It's hard to even begin to say.
It was a clown show kind of draft. Let's be honest, even with McClay at the helm. So
anyway,
not a good
back
one.
to you, baby. Sorry.
No, that's all good, baby. Appreciate you guys dropping your love, your comments, your thoughts. We still, no matter what happens, I know from my side, at 40 plus years, never stop repping that star over everything. So remember that, even if I can't stand the goddamn ownership in the GM. What about other coaching options? So we talked about Rex Ryan out of left field. I don't think that's a good fit. I'm sure we'll put a poll up here in a day or two if there's no choice yet. What would you guys think about what would be your choice for that? But another name we all talk about here, and I kind of like him. One of the better ones, I guess you can say. Like, kind of curious to see what he's going to do is Mike Vrabel, Tennessee Titan former head coach, defensive mind. And again, Vrabel wanted a defensive coordinator. Ooh, I'll say it in a minute because JD dropped a 1-2. J. Lou Dollar Holler.
Woo.
What did the man say?
We don't need Rex. He has diarrhea of the mouth.
Agree. These bullshit artists, a view click artist with ESPN. So I agree. I do not. Rex Ryan is kind of my. Listen, I'll tell you my rankings here based on ability. Last we know, but it's really hard for me to give him a good. If you tell me now, he's the last guy. As far as their history, you can put him up, maybe get a little bit of a ceiling for him, a little higher ceiling than some of these other guys. But it's just, I think it's just left field. As a 10 years, you got to know more. I agree with you, 100% JD from DC, who's literally knocking on the door for his place right now.
Yeah, like I said, not a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know where the heck he came from. He obviously, he must have an in with the Joneses or something.
I agree. I think there's something like that. Maybe you are reading my mind.
I'm having a good night tonight.
Mike Vrabel, though, wanted a defensive coordinator job in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
But the NFL teams did not want him. And the Cowboys, listen, we with all these Rex Ryan, and you'll hear Wink Martindale's name pop up and a couple others, but Zimmer, Ron Rivera, the Cowboys aren't necessarily, I guess you could say, afraid or intimidated by interviewing large and imposing coaches. Remember, that's the big hit on Vrabel. He's intimidating to owners. So even with all of that, no one has called Mike Vrabel for any defensive coordinator job in the entire NFL. So I know
again, super weird.
I know a lot of us Cowboy family members here. He's initially it was like, I don't really. Let's see what he's got. Right? I don't know. There's something up, but nobody's interested. So you can't even say I want him because he ain't even on anyone's radar for whatever the reason. I don't know. He seems like he's kind of replaced the Eric Bieniemy role this offseason. We'll see. I don't know. Just keep an eye on that. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger here.
Right.
Don't shoot the messenger. So when you look at this, and you start outside of Iron Dirty, our own guy here, you start our external search with Ron Rivera, Mike Zimmer, and Rex Ryan. Do you think the Cowboys are seriously taking kind of this season as an all-in season with these kind of like names? And again, Zimmer to me is by far the best one. Still, I don't know what people are thinking or wanting out there. Interviews for the Cowboys defensive coordinator position right now, according to multiple sources, at this point, it was still not complete. Expect at least one or two more names still undisclosed.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, Chris Davis said, "Who is Mark Manuel? Who is he?
Who's who?
Who's Mark Hand?
Oh,
am I saying his name wrong?
Yes, you get no. Yeah, I'm gonna explain in a minute.
Okay.
He's coming up next. Don't worry. So let me get through it, man. I will bring this up.
Go for it.
The Cowboys gonna again another one or two guys, right? And there again still remains after all this today. Later today, there's a good chance the Cowboys still make the defensive coordinator choice later this week. But now it appears the Cowboys are widening their coaching search net, defensive coordinator. So this means this could push things to next week. Jerry Jones' tactic there through the Super Bowl weekend to do this here. As the Cowboys do add new candidates, one of them, like I said, Rex Ryan is one of those guys. But there's still some new names. They're still looking for more guys. And they did. Well, let me put it this way. The Cowboys actually didn't yet. And that's the guy in the bottom right of your screen. Literally, we talk about everybody here. Joe Witt is already with Washington. Al Harris, well, he's not going to, according to most sources, he ain't ready to coach yet, defensive coordinator job, even if Trayvon Diggs wants him. But everybody else on this screen is we have updates on these guys. And Wink Martindale, Don Martindale, Wink, his nickname. The Cowboys, according to what's his name? Lombardi. What's his name? Oh, shit, I forgot his name. But the analyst guy. Anyways, Lombardi. I forgot his first name. Not Vince Lombardi. But Cowboys have interest in Wink Martindale as defensive coordinator. That's the word from him. He said, quote, "I was under the impression they were going to interview Don Wink Martindale too, from what I heard." Again, he former Giants coordinator there last year. He said, quote, "which they should do.
Yeah.
I think they've been on the phone with his agent and talking about bringing him in. Whether they do or don't, that I don't know." So just off the top, guys, already you're hearing not an interview set up for Wink Martindale, but it seems like somewhere the Cowboys are interested in him in some way. He did work with the linebackers at 3 different stops before getting his defensive coordinator position there with the Ravens. He's, listen to this, guys. He's a top 10 third down defense with the Giants last year, despite the Giants' issues, injuries, and more. Again, he's down for a shorter deal. So that could be another, again, you could get fired anyways, but he's down for a shorter deal, less money the Joneses lose if they have to fire him. At the end of the year, a new coaching staff comes in and they got to let Wink go. This is an intriguing candidate for the Cowboys for that reason, I think. But at this time, I want to stress this, guys, no matter what you hear from other places, at this time, there is no scheduled interview for the guy on the bottom right of your screen, Wink Martindale, for a Cowboy defensive coordinator position.
I mean, I'm kind of glad about that.
Yeah, that's a person with a lot of knowledge of this process. So he is not on the Cowboys. He's on the radar, but he ain't coming in for an interview yet. And here's why, I think, baby. Wink Martindale is set to meet with Michigan about their defensive coordinator job. So maybe he's doing a Steve Belichick situation, going to the college ranks and doing a defensive coordinator there. So it looks like Michigan, big school, right? They just won the national championship. Harbaugh's gone, new coaching staff coming in. Wink Martindale may want that. So he's interviewing with Michigan. We'll see what happens from there. If he's interested with the Cowboys and the Cowboys are interested in him, I'm sure we'll hear more about that sooner than later. But I just want to throw that out there, just so you know about Wink Martindale. What does his defenses do? Not bad. And again, one of those teams that kind of coach like Dan Quinn, a little better than Dan Quinn when it comes to Shanahan offenses and the rest of the NFL offenses when it comes to the passing game. So he's better option than Dan Quinn, let's say, by those numbers right now. But let me put it this way. He stabilized the Giants' defense in New York after a disastrous start of the season for them, right?
Yeah.
Horrible, right? There were rumblings of an issue between him and Dable, the coach of the Giants, during the regular season. That both sides mutually agreed to part ways once the season was over because, Brian Dable just said, "I'm firing your entire defensive staff." He's like, "You did this behind my back. I'm out of here." And he left. Martindale began his NFL coaching career in 2004 as an inside linebacker coach with the Raiders. He was promoted to linebackers coach in 2006, took the same job with the Broncos in 2007. Then he was promoted to the defensive coordinator job in 2010. So I'm sorry about that. It was with the Broncos first. And he did that for 1 year. He sat out the 2011 season. Then he joined the Ravens coaching staff as an inside linebacker coach in 2012. So a lot of linebacker coaching heavy mindset here. A position that you bet your ass, if he comes in, we will fill that with more players. Guarantee it. Maybe it's not a good mix for the Cowboy personnel. Maybe it is. Either way, Wink Martindale needs linebackers. And we need linebackers. So we'll see what happens there. But again, he was promoted. He was inside linebacker coach in 2012. He was promoted to linebacker coach in 2015 and became the defensive coordinator in 2017 with the Ravens, a position he held for the next 4 years under John Harbaugh, Ravens coach there. So following the 2021 season, Martindale then joined Brian Dable's staff in New York for 2021, 2022, 2023, and now he's out of there. So that's that situation with Wink Martindale. He's looking at Michigan as a priority for him. And then the Cowboys announced, even after that rumor, the Cowboys are going to expand our defensive coordinator search. This is going to take, at least at this moment, it seems it's going to take longer than previously expected. Not Thursday, Friday, more like maybe Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's what it's starting to feel like. One of the names that came out, guys, another name that the Cowboys are definitely are interviewing, guys. And now you want to know who this guy is. He's not pictured here. It's the New York Jets safety coach, Marquand Manuel. Now, he is interviewing with the Cowboys officially tomorrow. So keep that in mind. Thursday, interview with Marquand Manuel. Add him to the list, guys. Another Cowboy coach. So here's what I'm saying. Another Cowboy possible coach as the defensive coordinator. And let me explain what he's done. He was the Jets safeties coach last year. All right? He's interviewing Thursday with the Cowboys defensive coordinator job. Let me just go back in time for a second. He played for Mike McCarthy. He played for Mike McCarthy in 2006 with the Packers. All right? Then he went over and was an assistant in Seattle. Then moved over, again, an assistant doing a lot of different coaching jobs there, kind of starting off after his playing days. He went to be an assistant in Seattle, went to be an assistant in Atlanta, where he became their defensive coordinator in 2017 and 2018. So he actually was running the defense, I guess, before Joe Witt Jr. for Dan Quinn's defense during those years. So there is some connection there to some of the
So it wasn't just
flavor.
like some random
Right.
guy.
He's a defensive coordinator for 2 years, right?
Okay.
But then when things went bad there, and they put Joe Witt Jr. in charge, he was fired. He was let go. He went then to the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. He was an assistant there for a couple of years. Last year, I don't know how long, a year or two with the Jets as their safeties coach. To me, it's like an Al Harris move. At the top left of your screen, I don't know why don't we just interview Al Harris? I guess he hasn't been a defensive coordinator. That makes sense. While Marquand Manuel has been a defensive coordinator for 2 seasons with the Falcons. Now, I don't think he was that good of a defensive coordinator is what the word is out there. Another thing, and listen, I hate to do this, baby. I hate to be this guy.
All right.
But I don't know if there's a Rooney Rule involved here, but I would not put it out of the Joneses' mindset to say Aiden Dirty and, someone like Mark. Again, not that he can't do it because he's done it, obviously, but Marquand Manuel, another, they fall into that category. So I'm not sure if that applies to the defensive coordinator job, but I think it does matter, especially if the defensive coordinator goes to another job somewhere else, a head coach or a GM, you get extra draft picks. So it's important to note that. I just got to throw it out there just to get everybody on the same page. That means that currently we have Mike Zimmer, Rex Ryan, Ron Rivera, Aiden Dirty, and now Marquand Manuel as the 5 interviewed coaches so far. Wink Martindale's the 6th. Asterisk maybe comes in. He's going to check out Michigan first. In the college ranks. That's the breakdown right now of all the coaches that have interviewed with the Cowboys. And I guess I could ask for you guys for your guys' thoughts on this. But I'm gonna give you. I guess I'll give you my thoughts first before I give you yours. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what the chat's saying on this because we wrapped it up tonight, guys. It's a done deal. So get your last comments, your last thoughts in there, your drops of love from above, and we will get it read and done here as we wrap this stream up tonight. But baby, out of the defensive coordinators that are currently left. That we've interviewed, not left, the 5 guys we've interviewed. Ron Rivera to me, well, here's the thing. Without question, I still think upper right, Mike Zimmer, is the best guy for this defense, our personnel, his schemes, our players. I don't care about the 3-4-4-3. Micah can stand up or hand in the ground, same fucking difference. So, or not. Maybe he's better standing up, which is a 3-4 defense. Either way, you might move him around more with a 3-4. I think that, that would work fine too either way. So right now, guys, I think Zimmer is a healthier step. And I would say, he's above a Wink Martindale kind of maybe coach, right? That might be coming on here. So when you look at all the names, or all 6 names, I guess you can say, I still say Mike Zimmer is the guy I'd want on this team. That's my vote, so to speak. Now, when you look at, a couple other names out there, to me, the second best guy, I guess, of the external hires right now we're looking at, I'm going to be honest, baby. This is I don't know how you feel. Wink Martindale. If he is a chance to come to Dallas, I would take him over Rex Ryan, Ron Rivera, Aiden Dirty, Marquand Manuel. I'm just saying that would be my first 2 guys, and they'd be closer to the top of my list.
Okay.
There's a big drop off at that point, in my opinion. The unprovenness of Aiden Dirty would scare me, but I put him right there like average move. Like you kind of staying the course with Quinn. And I think that it's still too much unknown when it comes to Marquand Manuel from the Jets, right? So I'm gonna kind of leave them in the middle right there, okay? As our average spot. But to me, once you get past the shit spot, which is like past, I don't know, now we're at the shit. I believe below that shit line is Rex Ryan.
All right. And
again, based off what we know from 10 years ago, Rex Ryan probably would help us a little more than even Ron Rivera. I'm going to be honest. But if you're talking about right now, where would I put them? Ron Rivera is just a cunt hair in front of Rex Ryan. They're both at the bottom of the barrel. I do not want to see Rex Ryan, both the R's, right? R and R, RR. I don't want to see Rex Ryan or Ron Rivera as our head coach. Adam Dirty and Marquand Manuel, these guys are still question marks for me, or stay the course kind of guys with Ed and Dirty. And the two guys I would love to see here, my two choices, Wink Martindale, number 2, if he's even an option. And right now he is not that. Or Mike Zimmer, who I'm telling you guys, by far, outside of Wink Martindale, is the best option for the Cowboys for 2024. And an all-in type year. Still not really all-in, but to me, as all-in as the Joneses are going to go. Can he get along with McCarthy? That's the big question. What do you think, baby? What's your thoughts on this coaching carousel?
I guess I'm kind of surprised, but
your
I'm sorry. My ranking is Zimmer,
yeah,
Dirty, everybody else below the garbage can.
Even with the question marks of Mark, or I guess he was not really good with the Falcons either.
Look, we can split hairs. I just don't like them. I don't think they're necessarily a good fit. I'm sure they're perfectly fine.
Wink Martindale, you don't like him too much, though?
I mean,
he's that shit mark there, right? The shit line.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He's okay. But I admit that it's partially my football opinions, but it's also partially me playing favorites here a bit. Like, I personally am not a fan of, like, this very long, drawn-out process. Like, bang out these interviews, pick a guy, and let's get it the fuck moving here. Huh? So the fact that the Cowboys seem to be like, oh, but we want to interview this guy, we want to interview this guy, we want to interview this guy. Again, they're searching for a Cinderella that just does not exist. Like, Dan Quinn, as much as we might have been ready to see him go, those are some big, big shoes and hard shoes to fill. So regardless of what direction we move in, it's going to feel like a downgrade. I think we just kind of have to get over that.
When you look at analytics,
we also don't know. McCarthy's still the head coach. Does he want to take the defense in a certain direction? Is he waiting to hear the right thing from the right coach that's going to match up with what his vision of this team is?
That's a great point. He plays a large role into this, and could be the reason why Zimmer doesn't come here, because of some kind of like, not a vibe, not vibing with him.
And Fuego, take it easy. Appreciate you. Much love. Thank you for being here. Stay safe out there on the road.
Definitely, bro.
Much love. By the way, Cassie Stewart, I think he was joking with you in the sense of like, because your comment about the guy next to Rivera in the picture looks like Shango. I think Seabass was messing with you a little bit there, saying like, no damn business, like messing around with you,
Joe Witt over here. That's actually
just
funny.
throwing that out there real quick.
I see Ready Red in the house.
What's up? Yeah, Ryan Files here as well. Thanks for hanging with us. Everybody here chilling, hanging with us. Since we are getting towards the end here, take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily, and of course, hop in the Discord, links down below. Thank you very much to the sponsor of the week and the Cash App King, Stanley Smith, representing.
Yeah.
A big tip of the hat to the membership gifting king of the week, and now the current stream boss, Jason Renfro.
There you go. Yes.
Always appreciate you.
Jason Renfro, the stream boss, 66 points, the gifting king. But also, baby, he's on the board as a gifting membership today. But so does JD from DC, who's currently in the lead for that spot up top there when it comes to the gifting membership leader. Now, we also have, like you said, Stanley Smith, like you said, sponsor of the week. He's also taken over as the Cash App King. But who's this week's leader in the Cash App? And it currently is McLovin. He's first place on the overall board, first place on the Cash App board. He's coming for the crown in the Cash App side for sure. But like I said, JD from DC, not only is he leading the gifting side, but he's right there. I would have to even check the numbers. He might be ahead of him at this point. But McLovin and JD from DC fighting for that top spot. 1-2 punch right there. We'll see what happens. We still got a couple days this week to rock it on, and a lot of talk for our Cowboys here. I want to know what they think in the chat, my love. What are they thinking about these coaches that we just kind of discussed and the updates on all of them?
Mike Aldana said to me, this doesn't mean shit. They won't be here next year.
Most of them won't be, probably. There's a 90% chance they will not be here.
Jumps at Cowboys said, whoever they choose, they have to know this is a one-year plan unless we go to the NFC Championship.
Exactly. They do know this.
McCarthy might not be here himself.
And they know this. That's what I'm saying. These coaches, the coaches that would take this job, the Zimmers, the Riveras, they just want one-year bumps just to get them, kind of get back in the limelight, using a team like the Cowboys that have a good defensive players on the team Add a couple of your own guys. They don't understand they got to deal with the Joneses. Add a couple of your own guys, and then you could produce a similar defense or a better defense and get a bigger job. Whether it's a defensive coordinator somewhere else.
Exactly. Like you have options.
Or you never know. What if someone's like, we want to hire you as a head coach again. Whoever, Washington made a mistake. The Vikings made a mistake. Let's get you over here. Whoever our new coaching staff comes in, poof, wipe the fuck out. They all gone. And they go elsewhere, again, if they show out in Dallas. And with this defense, it's a good chance you will, right? It's a good chance you're going to look good out there. It's a good way of kind of upping your job resume.
Yeah.
Right? For a defensive coordinator to get a 1-year job. But not every guy needs that, is the point.
That's why I said for Adam Dirty, that would be a fantastic move.
Oh, yeah, for all these guys trying to get back in the mix.
For the team itself, I think it would be a fantastic move. You're still kind of keeping a
little
bit
Zimmer
of that
and
Quinn
Dirty for
flavor,
you, right?
That Quinn consistency, a coach the players know and love.
Yep.
While McCarthy is, like, indubitably the head coach. Like, there's no shenanigans, situations. I don't know.
Oh, I hear you.
I like Dirty. Anyway.
Getting dirty.
I didn't say that either.
No, I love
let me see. Mike, I said, what else you got, Clown Show? Rolling back here. Let me see.
The man of the night. JD from DC. Guess what he just did, baby?
I think he just dropped a $20 holler.
Tony Pollard style. Much love to JD from DC.
Pollard style.
Not only that, baby. He's in first place officially now. I have to do calculations. He's in first place on the overall board.
Which no surprise because his comment was, give me the top spot and go Cowboys.
Woo! You got it. You got it, brother. Appreciate you, JD from DC, repping that star in enemy territory over there against the Commanders and Dan Quinn. Appreciate you, JD from DC, who now officially JD from DC is in first place on the overall board. While, McLovin is second place and also first place on the Cash App board. Fully loaded there on that side of things. Somebody who's not fully loaded but still in first place on the Stream Boss is Jason Renfro. Appreciate him, the king of the gifting board with 46 points. Like I said, Stanley Smith's rocking it as our sponsor of the week and Cash App King. But, those crowns are, JD from DC, McLovin, they're looking for those crowns right now. And they're in first place. Appreciate you. Let me give the heart out there. I got to remember to give the hearts, man. Make sure you guys all hit the heart on any drops of love. Especially if you agree with it, not that you have to agree with everything, or if you just appreciate the love being dropped, you can do it. But, if you definitely agree with it, hit the heart on those drops of love. It gives us we might incorporate something like this, to make it some kind of, this is a new thing, kind of been here for like a couple days or a week from YouTube. So we might incorporate something with that, maybe an extra raffle in the star level or something for the leader of likes or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there, guys. We'll talk about it, and in a couple of weeks we'll see what sticks in our head, and we'll bring it to life, if anything at all, right? Just to add a little more fun to the mix.
Yes.
But thank you guys again, and I appreciate the drop there from the man, JD from DC, now in first place on the overall board, and the first place leader in the gifting board.
That's right.
Yes, so you got that. You're getting it, brother. Now, baby, what's the chat saying about the different coaches? Just go through a couple comments, and you could I want to hit a lot of comments on the coaches specifically that we just mentioned, more or less, and who people like or not like. Just quick comments. Let's go through it real quick.
Well, another comment by Drums and
Rapid
Cowboys
fire
earlier.
style,
What makes me mad is the Cowboys' job should be a wet dream job, but we're bringing the bottom of the barrel old farts or guys with a little experience.
Agree. And, I heard about something like that when the way the Cowboys are doing, the bringing in players and they're bringing in coaches. The Dallas is not the way it used to be, that draw that it used to be.
I want the record to show that Mr. MCF literally just said, let me hit up all these comments.
No, I know.
Rapid fire, and then the first comment I read, he already is saying,
I can't help it.
Interjecting his commentary.
It was something that I actually did not take as news for today, but I wanted to make that reminded me that people are saying that it doesn't have that shine it used to have to come to Dallas. It's lost some of that. And Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones still living off of that. And while the rest of the league and the players, they forgot about those 90 Super Bowls. So just a little kind of added mix there into that comment. Just all. I'm sorry.
Do you have another comment to add? Are you sure?
I might.
Mike Aldana saying, Vrabel's got a bad reputation from these so-called GMs.
Yeah, not sure why. Why they're doing this to him. But.
So, let me see here. Seabass saying, Kitna had Dak's ass on that Brady-esque training mentality. Why fix some shit that ain't broke?
That's the Clown Show.
Chris Davis said, I just want them to hire a damn defensive coordinator.
Yeah, just
hire
X Ryan,
please.
right? Just anybody. I'm just joking. Do not hire X Ryan.
I don't know about that one. So, Cassie Stewart saying this about Vrabel. He's well liked around the team. The players loved him. Titans owner didn't like him and said that he didn't fit what they wanted to do with their new GM. So, again,
mismatch there. But
could it just be that Vrabel isn't, like, again, he's good, he's fine, but he's just not quite the right fit for the teams that are...
I think
that... You can have all the skills in the world, but if there's no job hiring you for what you got...
But I think it's also there is a bad, like somebody said a minute ago, bad rap on him by the owners. Which maybe he's not like one of those yes man I'm just gonna follow you and agree. He's just maybe he goes against the grain when it comes to these owners, and that's the from Tennessee. Maybe that's where he gets a bad a reputation from, and maybe owners don't want to deal with that. I'm just throwing out a possibility, and he's getting no calls from anyone for defensive coordinator, so that tells you a lot.
Thomas Gary said, just hire good defensive coordinator and get this shit over with.
Agree.
By the way, Seabass cracking up. He said, it's a regularity. You both do it to each other. And I laugh because my fiance gets me with it every time.
See, it's all connection here.
I think some of us do it more than others, though.
I never do it.
No. Seabass said also, the Cowboys top brass said, hail to the gnaw to Linda Wells.
Yeah, they say, hold up. you're not taking him. Put
Mike
a block on that.
Saying that's like asking, what was your last job? Hell, I was the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Like that used to have some more weight to it than it currently does.
Now it's like a stepping stone for other fucking teams. It's just crazy for coordinators right now. So I mean, I guess that's a good wrap up of what you guys thinking.
Yeah.
I will probably put a post tomorrow. We should be going live and giving you guys the updates. We know that Marquand Manuel is going to interview tomorrow, and we'll see what other names come out. Another information comes out on this. It might be a quickie tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It might be a full-blown story night, a whole long night tomorrow if there's a hiring going down. If there's nothing going on, there even is a chance that we might not have to go live tomorrow. But we'll see how that goes. Of course, any important news info updates, we're going live here on MCF. Friday is one of those days. This is the last Friday we might have to miss. So just keep that in mind, guys. Friday, this Fan Friday, it's going to turn to a special Saturday. We do the shout-outs for the proper people there, star, silver, and over everything levels. But, yeah, guys, we're definitely hitting you back on the weekend for the finales. And, again, we're going to do the Super Bowl stream after the game.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind for everybody that's going to be, expecting us to go live during the game. No, after the game, we'll talk about the Super Bowl and then 2024. I'm sure we'll either have to... eat crow for the Niner fans jumping in here like A-Bomb or talk shit as they still got 5 on it, like us. And we want 6 before them in the NFC. Yeah, we're going to have to cheer against the Niners. That means we have to hope that the Chiefs win. And that's the truth. Every Cowboy fan should be thinking and feeling the same damn thing.
So
let's do the shout-outs, baby.
Yeah, of course.
Final
and
shout-outs.
Seabass, please shoot us an email. We owe you one, man. We have not forgotten about you. So seriously, hit us up. So we can get you on here and
listen.
Give you their proper
we had some fantastic over everything level members. I'm just gonna shout them out. Both of them that have been on here, and only 2 of them on the over everything. Of course, not Trevor Jones was on a special guest here with us, but we had the man, a couple guys here. We had the man, Snug X. You see him back there. Appreciate you. You're seeing the man, Seabass, right there. Appreciate you. Actually, let me make sure I fix this properly. Because right now, Seabass is the guy that's, we still owe an over everything level, whole night discussion with us here on MCF. So, it's gonna. I can't wait to hear what the man Seabass has to say about this team. And, of course, like I said, both guys are off the over everything level as of now, but we owe one to Seabass because he had a little injury there. So we make sure we'll get you, man. Much love and appreciation.
Why are Jerry's eyes so red?
Seabass, Snug X, appreciate both of you guys.
7-Eleven box wine.
They're legends that are in the over everything. The only 2 over everything level members we've ever had here. In the couple of months we've had the over everything level available. And yes, Jerry Jones, smoking some of that good weed and drinking that boxed wine. Anyways,
some of that good.
The good. Yeah, the Dallas strain.
Well, let me do the final shout.
Let's do it, baby. We had a great night, a lot of fun, great discussion, and hopefully great information you guys could take forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, I
agree. And we'll continue and pick this up then.
Yeah, keep it in mind as you see the Cowboy coaching news continue to percolate, right?
Yes.
Like Hellifield, thanks for being here. Seabass, much love. Cassie Stewart, have a good night. Ready Red representing. Drums and Cowboys, thanks for being here as well. Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. I agree. Vrabel's not an ass kisser. That already makes him not a viable candidate for Dallas.
And that's not a viable candidate anywhere, it seems like.
Yeah. Mike Aldana, what's up? Brandon J, thanks for rolling with us here tonight. Rolando Rodriguez in the house. We have, who else? Of course, the lovely Cassie Stewart.
Yes.
Asmodeus representing. Even you, Leaside Herald. I guess you could say. JD from DC, of course, dropping that love. We have...
And in first place on the overall board.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He does have that takeover now. Jason Renfro, much love to you as well.
46 points on the Stream Boss and the King, the champ of the gifting membership.
Orion Files, just begging. Please no Rex Ryan.
I'm with you.
Snug X, you know why he's here. Pioneer, thanks for rolling with us as well.
I see.
Trying to go back as far as I can.
Yeah, I see Adam Hurley saying, do you two ever talk NBA? Rarely. But we do bring it up. I'm more, 80s, 90s, 2000s NBA and kind of stop there. And baby, you're not really NBA.
Since then.
Yeah, so we don't do much here on MCF on this channel here. Seabass said, let's snug and get a collab.
Maybe one day
we get 50,000 subscribers. We'll get everybody who's ever dropped love in here on the board here. You know what I mean? So we'll see about that. Asmodeus, Snug, Cassie Stewart, Link, Seabass, everybody, thank you. Thank you all for dropping in, giving your 2 cents, your thoughts on our Cowboys. I also got to shout out everybody who's dropped the love from above in the last 2 days. Amazing Games, Traveling Fools, Smokey, Kirk Burning, Miko, Gloria, Mary Alvarez, Lincoln Kane, Bootzilla, McLovin, Snug X, Dwayne Broussard, Mark Hosepian, Jason Renfro, Stanley Smith. We got Hannibal King, Calvin Richard, and of course, the man in the lead right now on the overall board, JD from DC.
Woo.
And the gifting board as well. So, yes, everybody, baby, let everybody know why we do this on the nightly here on MCF.
Well, it is that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here on this channel, we always rep that star over everything. And here, for 6.5+ years on YouTube, we've been repping that star and repping the My Cowboys Family name with you, the family growing. Appreciate you all, guys. Cannot do this without you all. And as always, never forget, go Cowboys. Let's get that 6, as you see on my shirt, and beyond. Thank you all for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long. All night. Yes, guys, cannot do this without your thoughts on our team, on our Cowboys going forward in this horrible ending to our season we had in 2023. Of course, much love to those with the drops of love and support. Cannot do this as often as we do, 6.5 years, almost every day. And, you guys, 2-hour shows usually all the time. Thank you all for staying up late, sticking with the channel. Appreciate you all here in the off season that dropped the love from above. And also everybody in the house, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Or definitely, I'm expecting tomorrow, possibly Friday if there's really no news, but I see us going live tomorrow. And definitely Saturday, Sunday, we'll be rocking it, for the weekend. So, guys, now that we have to clock out and drop out of here for the night, never forget that, we're going to relock and reload for another show tomorrow and get you the updates on the coaching carousel for the Cowboys. But, baby, before we can officially drop out of here for the night, let everyone know what we got to do.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. Thank you all for dropping in here with us as that beat drops. And wrapping up another MCF Cowboys chat for the night. Hell yeah. A lot to overcome in this front office, and definitely with some other choices could be questionable. But Dak's ready, not Dak, but Micah's ready for the NBA All-Star Weekend. Just stay safe. Just stay safe, man. And we'll see if the Cowboys make a decision on that defensive coordinator spot sooner than later. Right now, it was going to be Thursday, Friday. Now it might be Monday, Tuesday. Guys, thank you. We're rocking it here with us right here on MCF, where it's always about that navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything. And as always, never forget the number one thing right here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone in the house here on the nightly. Cannot do it without you all. Don't forget to hit that like for the stream. Subscribe to the channel. We're about a couple away from 31K. When it comes to subscribers, we like to call you guys family members here on MCF. And of course, hit that notification bell. Put it to all videos. That shows you when we're going to go live. Social media at My Cowboys Family. You know the rest, guys. All the information is in the description. Stay safe. Peace out. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And never, ever forget, Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat.